Hello everyone, welcome to this session on cybersecurity. In the last session, we were discussing about classification of cybercrimes, and I have discussed about crimes against individuals and crimes against property. Now we are going to look at crimes against organizations or companies. So first one is unauthorized access. So unauthorized access is simple, either through email spoofing or phishing or spamming and various other techniques. The attacker will be able to access the assets of the organization. For example, attacker can gain access to the data in the database. That is unauthorized access. So the company can use various measures to protect against unauthorized access. And then we have password sniffing. This is already discussed in the previous session, so I am just skipping it. And then we have DOS attacks. So DOS means denial of service. Okay, denial of service. And there is an extension to this called distributed denial of service, DDoS. Okay, so to explain this, I am going to explain about distributed denial of service attack, DDoS. Uh, First, I would like to explain the difference between DOS and DDoS. Mm, in DOS, that is denial of service, attacker sends lot of traffic. That is, it can be the traffic is generally junk traffic. The attacker sends lot of packets to the target system. Okay, so in the DOS attack, we have source and target. Okay, so the source is attacker. So the attacker will be sending lot of packets, right? And the target will receive all the packets. It will be unable to process all the packets, and it will shut down or restart. Okay. So DOS and DDoS attack are techniques to overcome the availability of the system. So in the previous sessions, I told you about CIA triad. In that, A means availability. So the DOS attack or DDoS attack will counter the availability of system. Okay, so what's the difference between DOS and DDoS is in DOS the source of the traffic is one system, whereas in DDoS the source is multiple systems. The attack will be coming from multiple systems. That's the only difference between DOS and DDoS. So here you can see on the slide. So this is the attacker, original attacker who wants to take down the target. So this is the target, and here this is first level source. Okay. So what will the attacker do is the attacker is sometimes also called as bot master. Okay, and these are the bots. Slaves are also called as bots. Bot 1, bot 2, bot 3, and finally bot 4. Okay, so the attacker sends junk traffic to the bots, and the bots will act as repeaters which will forward the traffic sent by the bot master or the attacker. So all this huge amount of traffic will go to the victim system or victim server, and the server will be unable to process all the traffic and it will shut down or crash. Okay, so that is distributed denial of service attack. Okay, so let's go back. And next one is virus attack. So here the attacker will send malware, that is in this case the malware is virus, to the target system, and the virus will do whatever it is meant to do, either delete files, delete the database, or whatever. Okay, and next technique is email bombing. It's very similar to email spam. So I am going to skip this, just sending email to junk email to large number of people. And then we have salami attack. So what is salami attack is, mm, so this is kind of a gray hat attack. So it's not completely legal and it's not completely illegal. So it's in the gray area. Uh, so let's consider an organization X. Okay, it's providing a service to their users. So let's say the users have to make some payment to get the service provided by the company X. Okay, so while making the payment, the company X is charging a little bit of amount. Uh, let's say 50 pies. They are charging 50 pies as, let's say, as service fee. Okay. Um, so as a user, you might think 50 pies is very little amount. There is nothing wrong with that. But let's say the number of users who are purchasing the service is in millions. Okay, now if you add up the 50 pies into, let's say, 100 million users, that amount is very large. It's very huge amount of money. Okay, and this is unethical. Okay, such kind of thing is called salami attack. And next one is logic bomb. So let's consider again a company X, and in the company X there is a employee who is not satisfied with the boss of the company. So what the person is doing is what the person is doing is he is developing a software for the company, and in that software he wrote a condition like mm, on next month first delete all the data in the database. Okay, so it's a logic bomb. So this code, I mean the this is a kind of attack and it is based on the code of the application. Okay, so whenever the clock of the server reaches to next month first date, all the data in the database is going to be wiped off. So that is an example of logic bomb. And next one is another kind of malware called Trojan horse. So Trojan horses are everywhere on the web. So whenever you download software, you should be careful to check whether that software is having any malware inside it or not. Generally, the malware inside those software which you download from internet will be Trojan horse. Okay, so once you install the software, the Trojan horse will also be installed on your system. You don't know that the Trojan horse is being installed. So it will install and immediately or after some time the Trojan horse will download additional software from attackers servers. Like it can be keyloggers or it can be rats. Rat means remote access Trojan. It can be those things which will allow the attacker to control your system from a remote location through internet. Okay, very dangerous. And then you have another thing called data diddling. So data diddling means it's a very specific kind of attack. Cannot be performed on all kinds of applications. So I will give you an example. Let's consider a pizza delivery service, and like let's say Domino's. You are accessing the website of Domino's, and in the website you are ordering, let's say, 10 pizzas, and let's assume each pizza's cost is mm, 200 rupees. So 10 into 200, 2000 rupees. But while making the payment, what you are doing is you are using browser tools like Firefox tools or Chrome tools, and you access the source code of the application, and in the source code of the application you are changing 2000 rupees to 2 rupees. Okay, you got it. You are changing 2000 rupees to 2 rupees, and then you are submitting that data to server. Okay, very great, right? For 2 rupees you are able to order 10 pesos of 200 rupees cost each. Okay, that is data diddling. And don't think that you can do data diddling on all kind of websites. Only if the website is designed in such a way you can do this, otherwise you can't do that, right? And next one is crimes based on Usenet news groups. So Usenet, if you don't know about Usenet, it's like Facebook groups, etc., where people will be there in a group and you can share messages, articles, etc., etc. So this can be used as a ground for phishing. I already told you what is meant by phishing, and it can be used in different ways to scam. Okay, and next one is industrial espionage. So this can be physical or it can be non-physical. In the last session, I told you types of cyber criminals, right? In that one group is insiders. So the spies are actually working inside your organization. Okay, so they can collect all the data from the organization and within the organization, and they can sell it to competitors. That is industrial espionage. And next one is computer network intrusions. So the hacker or attacker will try to penetrate the network through internet and access all kind of resources in the companies or organizations network. Okay, and last one is software piracy. I think all of you are familiar with this software piracy. So instead of buying the original software products, you go for counterfeit software. Mm, you go for duplicates, or you download the cracks or patches from the internet and apply them and use the software without paying anything. Okay, and last one is crime against society, large scale. And first one is forgery. Okay, so you are trying to uh, duplicate the digital signature or a digital certificate and do something bad. That is forgery. And next one is cyber terrorism. As I explained in one of the previous sessions, uh, doing bad things with the terrorist intent is called cyber terrorism. So most of the time, the goal is to destroy something. Okay. And last one is webjacking. So it's called web hijacking. So this is very similar to phishing. So when you see the web page, the link will show one domain like abc.com, but when you click the link, it will redirect to xyz.com. Okay, so they are trying to hijack your uh, click. This can be also called clickjacking. Okay, or link hijacking. So that's it about the classification of cyber crimes. We have seen all the crimes in the four groups. Thank you.